right, Afi, we got about 2 minutes, so let's do a breakdown. You know this case really well. Just general thoughts that you want to tell our audience about your perspective as to where we are right now.
I think that after the break, which I think it was a much needed break for the jurors and for us, the audience, it's still going slowly. I anticipate that it will be ramped up, and prosecutors will really get to the meat of what they have, or at least for their sake, I hope so. I think, as we mentioned earlier, as the trial progresses, you're going to see the judge become a little bit more short with both sides. He's going to tolerate a little bit less. So the prosecution will have to be a lot more concise and bring a lot more meat than they have. But I expect or hope, again, for their sake and their side, that it'll ramp up.
Yeah, Afi, that's a really good point from a trial strategic point of view, something they don't teach you in law school. Maybe our audience who aren't lawyers don't know, or trial lawyers don't know. The judge does have a temperament, and there are certain ways and certain things the judge can do to let you know, I've had enough, move it along, and you respond to that because the judge, have a very powerful influence over the jury, and as a lawyer, you don't want the jury to think the judge doesn't like you because they look at the judge as like an independent person, not an advocate. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Most people, they don't have any connection to a criminal courtroom. So when they go in, they take all of their cues from the judge. And for me, I remember the first time I saw a judge, I was a lot younger, and I was like, wow, this judge in his black robe, it's like he's floating. So they look to the judge for, again, they take their cues from the judge and they look to him or her as an authority. So they are very connected to the judge's temperament. And especially as the trial goes on, they understand the legal language a lot more. So he's got a very, very strong influence in this matter.
Yeah, and just real quick, I got about 10 seconds. The difficulty with a judge on the spot having to make rulings.
I mean, it's challenging, but again, he's going to get very, very short. He's giving them a lot of leeway. He's saying, hey, rephrase your questions. Now he's going to just straight up going to start overruling a lot of objections or sustain, move on quickly. So they've got to make it work.
Yeah, and that's what the jury, you don't want the jury to see you continually not being sustained, because that kind of attitude by the judge can make it look like to the jury that you're wasting their time. Afi, that's it.